Welcome back, everybody, to the final part of our Unity Space Invader tutorial series. In the last video, we set up point scoring and player lives. Now, let's add the finishing touches by creating these shields to help protect the player and Earth from alien fire. So, when you're ready, grab your plasma tools. Let's crack on. Okay, so let's talk shield setup. In the hierarchy, open up the drop down for shields and you'll see a prefab for each of our shields in the scene. The prefab can be seen in the folder like so. Each shield, if you open one of them up, has a child object generator. All that is the metallic orb in the center, whereas the shield itself is the energy barrier that makes the shield. This particular part of the shield has the capsule collider, as we don't want the generator to be affected by the lasers, just the shield itself. What we will do, we will change the transparency of the shield sprite renderer every time it's hit by a laser, whether friendly or enemy. Transparency can be between the value of 0 and 1, therefore we will decrease that value by 0.1, meaning our shields can take 10 hits before they become inactive, leaving just the generator, like so. Let's go ahead and create a shield controller script. Let's open up the prefabs folder, open up the shield prefab, add component, and find your shield controller script. Add it to the prefab to update the shields in the scene, and let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, for the variables, we need to get our sprite renderer, and the appropriate collider we're using. In this project, I'm using a capsule collider 2D that I've called Col2D. I've also serialized a float called shield power so we can see how it's affected in the inspector. Let's go and call upon these in void awake. So sprite renderer equals get component sprite renderer, Col2D, get component capsule collider 2D, and we'll have a starting value of 1F for the shield's power. Next, in update, let's punch in the code to change the transparency, starting with sprite renderer.color equals new color, then 4 values in the brackets. These values refer to the RGB and A being the alpha. Let's leave the color values at 1, but the alpha value will be equal to our shield's power, which starts at 1, so we're at full transparency. Then, underneath, let's punch in an if statement that says if the shield power is less than or equal to 0, then the collider2d.enabled equals false. Once the shield is completely transparent, it is deactivated, therefore we don't want any objects to collide with it. So to create the illusion that it's been deactivated and lasers can pass through, we will simply disable the collider. There we go. Now, all we have to do is decrease the shield power alpha value by 0.1 when an object either A, collides with the shield, or B, stays within the shield, as the aliens will eventually do if the player is unsuccessful. And for each of those, we'll have an on-trigger enter 2D, on-trigger stay 2D, and we're going to punch in the same line of code, shield power minus equals 0.1F. And there we go. That's all we need for now. Hit save. Let's also go back to the game manager and let's create a means to quit the game if we were to export this project by scrolling to the bottom where we have game reset. And all we're going to do is create a new method, public void, quit game, application.quit. And there we go. Let's hit save and head back into Unity. All right, not much to do here now except set up that quit game application function we created by going to the score manager, hit the drop down, canvas, open up the game over menu, select the quit button, and it's looking for an on-click event. Hit the plus, drag in the game manager because it's got the game manager script, and select the function we just created, quit game. There we go. All right, that is everything all set up. Go ahead, hit play. And now when you're playing and the lasers hit the shields, you'll see that their transparency slowly fades away. Let's shoot one of these shields until it completely disappears. And there you go. It is inactive. We can shoot through it. And all that's left is the generator. Happy days. And there we go. We have created Space Invaders in Unity. Thank you all very much for stopping by and following along. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial every bit as much as I did in making it. And please, get creative with this. Expand on it any way you like. Add your own graphics. Add your own ideas. Really make it your own. I look forward to seeing what you do with it. Until next time, keep learning. Take care, and I will see you soon.